That's great.
Crying bugs. Oh, Lord.
That is exactly how I feel right about now. How do I miss 3?
I know all about it. I'm very familiar with that emotion. I just want you to know, if you need anybody to talk to, I'm here.
But Ralph, you need to understand. You didn't miss all 3. You missed 6.
Somebody just at least take a screenshot of that, and then I don't know if you have to email that to Peter. I mean, I don't want to shout you out.
It's gonna be at the beginning of for episode 3, so he'll see it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm taking a picture anyway.
Yeah, because realize you had advantage, so you missed out of the best of 6.
Yeah. Statistically, I don't even know what the odds are of that. But
I need someone good at math to do those stats on that.
Yeah, and I also want to point out you had a -1 to that modifier for your
Yeah,
main attack.
I only have a +2 for my dex, and I don't have a +1 weapon. I get the fighting style, which gives me +2 to the attack, but it's still just a +4. I figured, oh well, I got advantage. This should even out.
Yes, your -5 +10 scenario. Oh yes. Oh boy.
So basically, what you're telling me is you're a shit soldier.
Yeah.
No man, I don't know, because in real life I was pretty damn good.
That 13, let's say, on your normal modifier would have hit. I'm just saying. The 12 also probably. But alternate realities. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But as it stands, Fergie's rage deflects every bolt you shoot. She's invincible at this point. For all you know.
I think we should let her go. Really.
Yeah. And you don't even know. She might be an invincible beast. Like you don't know that she can die. But it is Krzysztof's turn, and we'll see what he's doing with Scorpion number 2.
The Thrycreen of Destiny.
Yes.
I have heard stories of it.
Unbelievable.
So,
I really wish Peter was here for that, because I know Peter would have no end joy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We should text him. Oh wait.
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Screenshot it and text him, but yeah, that's not gonna work out. All right, Krzysztof.
I'm gonna go.
It will work out when he gets his phone back on Monday.
Yeah.
If he's still alive.
He is. He made it to Rodney's.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the unnamed scorpion in the face again.
Okay. Well, this scorpion is not that they didn't choose to have no name; they just were never given. The other one chose not to have a name. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the thing is, I personally don't care what its name is because
because hopefully it's gonna be dead.
I got a nat 20.
Get the fuck out of here, bro! Tell me more.
Also 14. I'm assuming the 14 missed.
The 14 actually does not miss. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it misses. It misses. Sorry.
All right.
That would have been cool. I really should,
So I'm still doing 20. Actually, technically still the same.
Yeah.
Well, 4 damage less. But yeah. There you go.
All right, 15 damage. All right, so.
And I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna move around it again.
Well, that's exactly what you can do.
Oh, it's just that.
Yeah, it died. It just straight up died. When you shoot that first blast, the second one misses because there was no life force to draw from anymore. It basically bites a big one, and it is dead. It is now sort of slumped in the darkness with you. And
in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and eat it. Oh wait, no, wrong character. Sorry.
Right.
Wrong guy. I'm gonna go ahead and move towards the pedestal now.
Okay.
Because I should be relatively close.
Just so that we can stay on top of the length of time. That's a minute, right? And so that's what, let's say, that's normally 6 rounds, right? You only cast that like 4 rounds ago, right? 3 or 4 rounds ago. All right, cool.
Are you in darkness?
Yeah, your darkness. I just want to make sure we're keeping the length of time there because it's...
Yeah, we
all
got
right, so...
Go.
All right, so yeah, you went to what? You go to grab the vial?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. So after you slay this beast, you go to grab the vial, and surprisingly, there's no fanfare. You go to grab the vial, and you lift it right up off the pedestal, and in a split moment, in that same exact moment, the world blinks right out of existence again around you, and when you all blink back in, because you all literally disappear and come right back in, you are back in the manor. So the simple act of just grabbing this vial seems to have, triggered it. I'm assuming you guys were being, watched to see how the goings on went. And you grab the vial, you appear right in front of Mr. C, so to speak. And what position are you guys in right now in this room?
In the loading position.
We know that that's not actually possible with that feat because loading is ignored. So yeah, you all appear as Rafael is ready to pretend to load because he's so used to the motion of it, even though he doesn't have to do it anymore. He looks up and you see that you're in the manor anymore. There is actually, if you all look around your feet, some of you have a little bit of dust, some sand. It sort of made the trip with you. So this wasn't so much an illusion that you can tell. You actually were in that place. And so Mr. C, you can see he's very excited. He's like, oh, you guys did it. I knew you guys had it in you. Got a little hairy there, right? No, well, maybe it didn't get too hairy. But yeah, you guys did it. And that's super awesome. And so he's like, let me get it. Like, he's like happy, right? So,
But
let's say
it's still darkness.
Is darkness still there? Yeah. So that's why he doesn't reach for it. He just assumes that you're in the darkness there. But, he's not going to go, like searching around like the scorpion did. He's like, come on. And he's like super, super happy. You can see that there's a joy on this ox face that it can't be reproduced with words. It's just sort of like, it's probably the happiest cow head you've ever seen.
I'm gonna go. Was there like a nightstand or a desk next to his chair that he was sitting in?
His desk, which has all of these weird, profane writings. Who knows what the hell is going on there? Because
so that's where all that was. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll walk up, place it there, and then walk back.
Okay. So basically for all of you guys, you basically see a ball of darkness, which you're pretty sure you know who it is. You see a ball of darkness sort of move toward the table, and when it backs away, the vial is there. So he goes to pick it up, and he's got a sort of, think of like a sort of a case, right? And in it you see 5 other items in there, varying things. You see like little box, sort of like maybe something that looks like a snuff box, just different things. They're not all vials, but this one is a vial, and it is filled, just so you guys know, there's a sort of, it's just a brown powder from what you can tell inside of there. And he adds it to the case. It's sort of like, it's almost like a holder for these things. And you do see an empty spot there. If you all can quickly roll me a perception check.
I'm too focused on the darkness.
Yeah, the darkness is too much, your friend. Hey, Rafael. Right? 11. All right. And we'll see what John rolls, just in case he rolled any higher than Rafael.
Perception or investigation?
Perception in this case. If you'd like, you can roll investigation. But in this case, the modifier wouldn't have made much of a difference.
It would have been a 9.
Yeah. So at least Rafael, for sure, you all do notice that there's, there's got to be some space there for it. But Rafael, with his soldier's keen and sharpshooter's eye, that served him not well at all in the fight so much. But at least now it's working. Sometimes it's not always the best. You do notice that there is like a sort of an empty slot there, in the shape of sort of like a potion bottle, you could say. It does look like a flask of some sort goes into that. so you know that at least the last piece that would sort of fill this collection, so to speak, would go in there. And so at this point, I know I actually had a few more things. I guess I over-prepared in a way. I actually had a few more encounters set in. I don't know if you guys are ready for that, right? Do you guys need, like, what's the sleep timer?
No, I should go.
You're done? All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I'll just do a little bit of extra exposition here. And he goes, all right, you guys are definitely ready for the big show. This is definitely going to go. This is going to go our way. I got a great feeling about you guys. The other guys, I mean, you know, I had a few guys get some stuff. But that previous group was just, forget it. They were terrible. And they didn't really make it, did they? So you guys are going to go to the next place, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'm just going to say you guys might want to get prepared. Any of you guys hurt or anything like that?
Yeah, I got attacked a few times.
Okay. That's a great story. I'm really in a rush though, and he snaps his finger. Right? So basically, again, you hear this snap, and the last time you heard it, you ended up in the desert. But in this case, there's no fanfare with portals or anything like that. All of you are basically shot upwards through the roof. You're assuming the floor and then the roof, but none of you actually feel like you took any damage. Somehow you were able to destroy the floor and the ceiling, and then the roof of the entire edifice. And all four of you are skyrocketing, literally into the sky. And you continue at your pace. This is not something where you feel like you are being thrown by some sort of catapult or any sort of natural scenario here. But you are all reaching what a scientist or maybe a very world-centered wizard, nature, spherical object sort of guy might call the stratosphere. You are, as you skyrocket at a speed that you are unsure the human body, because you are all human, you're unsure the human body is capable of even withstanding the speeds at which you seem to be traveling. And as we come to a close, you do notice you are leaving what you would normally call the sky, and you are seeing something that you can only describe as night as you leave, whatever pull the earth may have had on you. And it's getting really cold. And with that, I guess we will end tonight's game of D&D.
Yay!
Yay!
All right.
No.
I hope it wasn't a complete shit show. We got a few initiatives all fucked up. And giant scorpions, I didn't even realize this, have blind sight. So Krzysztof would have been fucked if he would have realized that. Let's just say the giant scorpions weren't the best of their breed. It was the first encounter after
They
all.
forgot. They got scared.
Did anybody get, how bad is your health? Who's got, the worst health?
I think I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, John got hit.
I was hit for 16 or 17 damage overall.
Okay, cool.
I'm
Alright,
down 17 also.
Wait,
Alright.
you guys took damage?
Yeah, I took 4 damage.
Shit. Sorry.
All right.
I'm at
so,
28 health.
Out of
45.
y'all bitches
He's
with
level
no
5.
health. Gosh.
He's also level 5.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
he's
my
actually
bad.
the lowest level of everybody. I
Because
was actually
he's the
more worried about
youngest.
John than anybody in that way because of okay, he's also not just missing the bonuses that everybody else has, but the health is also a lot lower than, 3 levels of experience might give you.
Well, look at it this way. He'll also get more XP,
Yeah,
I mean,
there you
I'll get the same amount of XP. I'll just level up faster.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So technically, it's
So, if you guys want, I will start calculating the XP total.
Yes,
Which I
peace.
didn't. Normally, I would do this before all of that, and it would just be a number like, here, you guys get this and this, but obviously I didn't have a lot of time to do the calculation.
Look on the bright side. I robbed this of a lot of XP because I just ended it right there.
Yeah. Well, you did at least get to kill the scorpion, and I do believe community XP here. So let's say that. We killed 3 Thrycreen or 2, right? I know Lucius bought it, or am I wrong there? No, Lucius still lived. Fergie still lived. So maybe Lucius and Fergie, headcanon, end up making their own life afterwards. But we killed 2 Thrycreen, 1 giant scorpion.
Fergie's probably be like, you just said this little bitch with the fucking crossbow?
She
kept
is
missing.
the Thrycreen of Destiny. She
Right,
was
she is.
prophesized to lead them into the Promised Land.
I can't believe I kept missing all those. I should have been adding the +3.
That was ridiculous. I don't think I've
enjoyed
ever
that.
seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, I enjoyed that in a way that I don't think was possible. It's a wonderful time to be alive.
Oh, it just made me so sad that Peter wasn't there to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay,
He would be
so
making fun of me.
so here you go. Fuck it, I'll give some little bit of XP here. So basically, all of you, and I'll make it easy. I'm not gonna do like extra role play, mostly because we didn't really go too deep into role play, and it's unfair. So yeah, you guys all get 375 XP because it's all parted out. I really expected that to go a little quicker, but who knows what the fuck I was doing trying to prep. And so yeah, you guys didn't get to loot anything, obviously. You did loot the vial, though.
I am incredibly sad about.
I should get looting experience.
You get looting XP. You get 10 looting XP. How about that?
Fuck you all. I got 10 extra XP.
That's right. Yeah, you got 385 XP. Yeah. I hope you guys feel like shit now.
Probably do.
Do you have knowledge Arcana, Krzysztof?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like Krzysztof to roll me a knowledge.
Well, I mean, I have it in the sense that I have intelligence.
Ah, I see. So you're not like, it's not one of your skills that you
No.
train. You just have available to you.
Correct.
All right. You can just roll an intelligence check. How about that? All right, that's an 8. All right. So just so you know, when you did go to grab the vial, you didn't feel any magic whatsoever about this. You don't understand what the big deal is, right? It just, you went to go grab this thing. There was no hum of magic that you might have expected. Why were these things in the middle of a desert protecting? You have no idea. But especially considering this didn't feel super powerful. But yeah, that's the general feel that you got.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the day. I really thought we were going to get through 2 battles, but battles take nothing.
It was just too much fun, getting our asses missed.
Yeah. I mean, I feel a kinship now with Rafael. That I don't think I've ever felt
Yeah,
before.
about that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. You missed what, 6 attacks in a row?
God damn.
Yeah, that's another thing too. No, one of them he missed the first 2 and then hit with the third, and he did that twice in a row, which
Okay.
at least that's respectable. But yeah, advantage on.
But
3
on that one
in a row.
time he rolled advantage, he would have missed with all 6 of those rolls he would have missed with. That's ridiculous. Of
Not
all
if he
6,
added his proper stats, though. He would have hit.
Yeah, he would have hit with
Yeah.
at least 2 of them, because one of them was low already. But he would have hit with at least 2 of them. But I mean, now what that did, you guys solidified Fergie as a new boss. Like now, it's like that. If you guys played Shadow of War or whatever, the Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
that
now a
orc.
mercenary captain.
oh my god,
Yeah,
she's gonna
exactly.
come back as one of those uber psionic queens.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, those guys are. They all had multi attack. To be honest. I could have made it much worse. Like there might have been some deaths, if we were going that way. But you know, I figured it's the first fight of the thing. I didn't want to make it that crazy.
Still mad at myself
Oh, I
for
found
pulling a Benny and a
Yeah,
Justin.
in the end, our worst enemies are ourselves. That's the true lesson. That's the true
Truer
takeaway.
words have never been spoken.
Yeah. Look at this.
Aren't these the bad guys, or like at least a creature in Men in Black or something? Like at the night
No,
at the
those are
newsstand.
the roaches.
What, the three creams? They kind of look like that, don't they?
Yeah.
They look like the worm people. That's what they were, the worm.
All right. Anyway.
All
Have
right.
fun, guys. I will see you around. I gotta sleep.
Have a good night.
Night.
Good night.
All right.
Good night,
When
Krzysztof.
are we doing this again?
Yeah, what's the next game we're gonna do then? Right?
Well, it'll be sometime next week. It could be any of them, really. We have Peter's game, which we haven't touched in a while. There's my game. There's Johnny's game. So, and we could also figure out a way to weave Peter's character back into this one. So
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, with the way I made this is all supposed to be just like some wild, you know, just
dungeon, yeah.
bullshit dungeon crazy stuff going on, like with, you know, recurring characters or whatever. Like, so
Cool.
yeah.
What do you
Makes
want
it
to
easy.
call this series, Benny?
Oh, I really don't know. I mean, let's see.
Well, you got
I really
like
don't know.
a few days. I probably won't upload this until like
Yeah.
Monday-ish.
Yeah, I'll try to come up with something, sure. Yeah, unless you guys come up with any like solid suggestions or whatever, I'll just come up with something. The whole point of this is that it's a little ridiculous, right? Like it's not gonna be traditional. You guys meet in a bar and then, you know, say, kill some rats at level 5 and 8.
Mm-mm.
It sucks. I really wish I had, because I had a whole concept to this that I had it as a concept, but like when I know when Peter came on and said, "Oh well, we can't do this and this. Do you think you're ready, Benny?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like I shouldn't have volunteered considering all the, you know, I had a lot of stuff to do that day. But I was away from all of my. I had my phone only, and I did have a lot of resources. Like I actually have the monster manual on my box account, so I could have actually I downloaded it or whatever, but I didn't really prepare it the way I needed to. And then in the middle of all of that, I get home and finally have some time. Like, okay, I'm gonna cram this like a homework exam, a homework assignment, and then I had to go pick up my mom, and that sort of took away like 2 hours of prep time for that. That I could have gotten a little cleaner on something, but I had much more. Yeah,
But it's good that, like, I mean, it's good that you have so much plan. And, like, I mean, it's actually really good that it was your campaign, because, like, I have, like, for the most part, your next session planned out, like what you're gonna do. But, like, without Peter, it's like, okay, so what happened? Like,
right. Yeah, that would have been worse. Yeah,
we wouldn't have been able to play, really, because, or we basically wouldn't have been able to play. So, it's like actually good that it was your game.
Yeah, I sort of missed it. Missed Peter there because I actually that's the other thing too. That's one of the reasons I took multi-attack away in a way, even though that might have skewed it even worse. But like I did sort of, he was a level 7 character there. So basically, you're taking away one whole level 7 character's round out of the combat, which changes up a lot of the character. What do you call that?
Ratings?
Yeah, the CR, yeah, the challenge rating.
Well, all of them. Okay, so how many enemies we faced? Faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was
Yeah,
6 enemies altogether, and
Yeah,
there's
there were
there's 4 of us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, we should have been. It would have been rough,
Right.
but
Yeah,
in theory, we should have been okay if Ralph didn't keep missing.
If we were playing as John's characters, any one of us would have been fine.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, which one's the level 12s that we got to?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Like we were
Definitely,
all just like super OP. Now that we've
I-
leveled up a few more, we're even more overpowered. I can't
I
wait
mean,
to.
we
I
kind
can't
of
wait to do it.
started off pretty ridiculous because we started off at level 5 with magic item.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Already with magical items. Yep.
yeah, we started off at level 5 with magic item, which was totally cool. And then, and like we just ran with that. And it's not even like it's not even like we broke the game or disobeyed the rules, because the way they changed the Warlock, like they originally had the invocations specific to the pact, but it's no longer like that anymore. You can choose most of the invocation for whatever pact you choose, with the exception of like one or two.
Yeah, there's
So-
a few that are specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like one or two, like the weapon specific ones are for our pact specific, but like they changed Kiss of Mephistopheles so that anyone could choose it. Any Warlock could choose it. It doesn't have to be a fiendish pact.
Yeah, and I think that's because it was so popular too. I think a lot of the invocations were like, look, I really want this.
Because it's ridiculous. I
Yeah.
mean, using your blast to trigger a fireball. What?
Yep.
With no stipulation that you have to actually have the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Krzysztof, if I remember correctly, Krzysztof only attacked like a total of 4 times with it, and hit 3 of those 4 times, and basically did that scorpion in by himself.
Yeah,
But
Eldritch Blast hits hard on its own. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, just by itself, Eldritch Blast hits pretty hard.
yeah, I feel bad for Ralph, because like he's doing this damage with the crossbow, and it's like the feature weapon. But meanwhile, he's doing like 1d10 damage over here with like at will.
That's because
Eldritch
none of
Blast.
us have decent, physical scores.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily,
that's true,
but
yeah,
none of us
bonus.
have like, for our levels, appropriate melee score.
Well, that's why I'm a wizard.
Yeah, I was wondering. So your wizard is more an illusionist, from what I get, right? Like, so I haven't poured over the character sheets that much. Like I did
Yeah,
sort of look
my
over them
wizard-
just to get an idea.
my wizard's an illusionist, so I have like a lot of my spells are like meant to like trick and beguile the enemy rather than damage them. So like I have a few that are damaged. Like I took Witch Bolt, and I took Gust of Wind, which I think does some form of damage. Phantasmal Curse. So like I do have some damage spells, but the rest of it is really to just screw with my opponents. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with like the illusionist abilities. Like, oh god, I hope in this campaign we make it to level 14 so I could get my hands on illusory reality, because then all bets are off. Like that ability is ridiculous, and I can't wait to put it to good use.
We are not strong enough to survive that high up. We're gonna have to grind on rats.
You never know, but yeah, the next fight is the way I had it planned. If we would have gone straight in there, it definitely was meant to be at the difficulty deadly level.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, it was gonna be part of it, but yeah, we'll see where that goes. But that's the thing with the wizard. I actually was more worried in terms of damage. I was like, oh, this level 8 wizard might actually just start destroying everything. So I wasn't sure what direction, because I didn't really pour over the spell list. So I wasn't sure what direction your wizard was gonna go.
Yeah,
get a
I
little
didn't
bit better
really
of an
think
idea.
it was appropriate to, like, if I was staying true to myself as a person, that it would be really true to myself to just be hurling blasting magic.
Yeah.
So it made more sense for me as someone who rests on their intelligence to like try to outthink my enemy.
Okay, so I'm scratching off that ancient red dragon that I had.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Um,
I think that would have been fun, especially since I'm level 5.
Yeah, level 5. And we'll
Let's
see if you
do
can even
right
hit it. We'll run a simulation. Oh, so yeah. So that's, I mean,
Hey, I'm gonna go, guys.
cool, man. All
Enjoyed
right.
myself.
But yeah, we are weak in comparison to the other games that we play.
I mean, yeah, but like we're weak, but at the same time, it's not like we have bad stats. It's that the characters in the other games that we play have
Right.
really high stats.
Exactly.
Like John's character in my game has it by the time he hits level. When he hits he just hit level 4, so he's gonna have 4 18s.
Holy
Oof.
shit!
He is going to have 4 18s.
That's
Ridiculous.
Yes, and he rolled those numbers. Like that wasn't even like he, just randomly came up with that bullshit. He rolled those numbers, and he ended up with like 2 18s and 2 17s.
I won't even get an 18 in my main stat until level 12.
In my game?
No, in this game.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's the main. That's really an important point there, right? Because our other characters, so some of those parties, like especially in John's original one shot there, that was a murder squad, right? Like that was, there was a certain level of destruction that we were capable of doing, that sometimes happened in many of the rounds. That's how we ended up getting so high level, because we just demolished like dragons and manticores, and
we fucking killed we killed a CR-23 monster at level 9.
Yeah.
9? 8.
That's where a lot of my worry was in trying to balance out the fights today. I'm like, wait, these guys were just level 5. And I say these guys, I mean we, and like we were fighting adult blue dragons, and like whatever. Like it wasn't a young blue dragon. That was an adult, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I thought it was young. Wasn't it an adult?
Was it young? Because if it's young, that maybe makes more sense. Because I was looking at the adult, I was like, how did you ever fucking demolish this thing?
Well, it was less tough than the Empyrean, and the Empyrean was CR-23.
Right.
But,
yeah, the Empyrean on top of that.
Yeah, but he didn't use all of the Empyrean's abilities. Like he took away, he didn't really use some of the deadlier things that he could have used. Like he didn't really use the Empyrean's legendary actions, and he didn't use the legendary actions of the dragon either. Right. So like that was kind of like the caveat. Like he didn't really make the encounter as hard as it could have been. But like we did
have somebody. I think somebody went down. Krzysztof might have gone down through no fault of my own. And
well, I just feel like John padded all of the enemies. Like he didn't say make them stronger, just made them beefier.
Yeah. Eventually, that's what made it happen.
When we got into the Pokemon Mansion, he started doing that because, he wasn't planning for the magic items that he allowed us to choose. He thought we would just choose random stuff, and here I am what is the best stuff?
What's the best thing that I can have right now? For free?
So he was not expecting that. And
wait, you guys got to choose your equipment?
We did.
Yeah.
Aww.
When we went once we beat the Empyrean, we beat a fucking CR-23 monster. So he was just like, fuck it. So I don't have to go through the trouble. He was like, a chest opens with a white light glowing inside of it. Each of you can choose one magic item, make it a good one. So we all kind of were like, what? He was like, yeah, choose one magic item, make it a good one.
Man, I would have picked the Holy Avenger or something.
Well, yeah.
I think I did ask, if I remember correctly, but at that point I was like, you know what? No, because I already have this ridiculous combo with the hammer and the glove and the belt, and I don't want to break that up. And I actually gave mine away to Krzysztof.
Yeah.
I actually never got to use my weapon's abilities. I only used his +1.
Yeah, the 9 life stealer, right?
Yeah, because that's all. First, it has to be under 100, and in that
Yeah.
case, if it's under 100, I'm just going to kill it anyways.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, because I had another sword as well before I got the hammer. The hammer was loot. It wasn't like given or like it wasn't like choose that weapon. It was apparently just loot that we found on an orc, and uh, so I had another sword that was like on crits or something like that. I forgot what the hell I did. It's like blood drinker or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
With a crit, and that's the one that I ended up using to kill. Was it the Empyrean? I remember there was like one final blow that I ended up using that, and I did crit with it at the end.
Yeah, I think it was the Empyrean.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I know that obviously, you guys didn't have a lot of super magic weapons in this. I think who ended up getting? I think somebody got a +1, and I know this guy got the Pact of the Rod Keeper. Krzysztof did.
I mean, I'm happy with my cloak, which by the way I totally didn't even use, and I should have. You should have been rolling with disadvantage to hit me.
That's the thing. Yeah, a lot of this was a little bit like, right at the sort of last minute, especially for me. So there was definitely stuff that I didn't catch. Or I remember John. John has that machete from his dad, and so we worked on that as to what that gave him. But trying to remember
precision strike.
Yeah, it's a precision strike basically. It's like the guidance of the father or something. I think I tried to call it that. But what else? What did you get, Ralph? I forgot what it was.
I got a weapon of warning.
Weapon of warning, okay. And and then everything else was just like sort of uncommon.
Yeah, I got potions.
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to give like one potion or something like weird.
Yeah.
I got a potion of fart.
If this goes, further in that way, I'll definitely start dropping like actual magic items that affect battle a little bit more. So yeah, you'll see, because it won't be, we don't have like +3 weapons right now, right? So we'll see if what drops and stuff like that. I like the idea of random loot. I'm just that way as a DM. Like I don't like that sort of focused. It's just me as the DM jerk. Like I prefer the old school. Like you find a completely useless +2 bow that you don't even use, but you found it. Here you go. It's like a magical +2 bow that has a whole backstory and everything. But like it doesn't actually help you because you're a melee character
and you're not proficient in or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So it sucks in that way. But I am a fan of the random. The RNGesus, so to speak.
Yeah.
I love random Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I like a mixture of both. Like, I'm definitely a fan of people finding something that's tailored to them that will really work for their character. I'm a fan of that, but that has to be like, it's not like, here you go, have it for nothing. It's like you have to work for it. Like,
That's sort of how I do it. Yeah, in the other campaign, I'm still, we haven't even picked up that campaign, but that's what I'm doing with those guys, right? Because they're also newbies too, so they have no idea what the magic items are anyway. So they're like, they can't even ask. Like they wouldn't even know what to ask for if I asked them. But like, so that is going to be more of that really old school, like, you find a magical sword with elven whatever stuff emblazoned on it, and I could just make it whatever I want. Like, by the way, this sword talks to you, and whenever you hit something, lightning comes out. Like, who knows if that's even a weapon that you can find in the DMG, But stuff like that, like that. I do. You're exactly right. Like, so if it's part of a story, and so that's sort of the problem here, right? It's all for fun, right? It's not exactly like backstory is going to be weighing super heavily in this, right? Like, maybe Kelvin Blackstaff does come back and he wants to get some revenge.
That would be a battle.
Yeah, it's not going to be like, you're not going to be going through like the emotional journey of, you know what I mean? Like, it's all sort of like a one shot for the most part. I legitimately thought we were going to get through another encounter today. And it actually should have just ended after that. But yeah, so this will be interesting. We'll see where the loot drops at the end of it. If there's loot at all. Maybe.
No.
There's no loot at all. The real loot is your own understanding of yourself.
Damn, that's fucking deep, Benny.
Yeah, it is.
Balls.
It's probably the shittiest loot you have ever received.
Yeah, give me that, that mustache
Sense of
that you can add as a
accomplishment.
magic item. It
Yeah,
requires
some of-
attunement.
Like, I was like seriously looking through some of the magic items. Some of them are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, some of the magic items in that book are absolutely ridiculous.
In the Xanathar's guide, right?
No, I haven't gotten Xanathar's guide yet.
Oh,
Does it have even
yeah.
more?
I know
Yes.
you said you don't have a computer, right? But that PDF
no,
that Ralph
I was
uploaded
looking-
has it.
Yeah, I was looking at the PDF, like scrolling through, but I didn't get to the magic items. It always does this weird thing when I get like to a certain point and just like kind of the app shuts down. So when I get to a certain point in the scrolling,
While
Yeah,
wearing
so it's
this
like it's
magic
such-
cloak, you can use a bonus action to make it billow dramatically.
It's a great
that's-
item. Because it's so good because it's not a game breaker, and you can give that, like, it's not, you don't feel bad that like, oh, now this guy has like this ridiculous magic cloak that makes him overpowered. Like, it's a cool cloak.
it's
Simply
a cool
it
cloak
is that.
that wastes an action to billow.
Exact.
Well, for like a wizard, it's great because wizards don't really use their bonus action.
Yep.
Is it a bonus action or an action?
It's a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
Wizards really don't have anything to do with their bonus action, so it
That's
works
true.
great for them.
The
The
isn't
only thing
there-
they can do with their bonus action is like
the
Misty Step.
spells. Like,
Misty Step is a bonus action.
Yeah, there are certain spells that are bonus actions and then you can cast a cantrip.
Yeah,
so,
there's not that many.
technically-
It's very situational. It's not like every turn you could do something with it. Like every turn I can use a bonus
Right.
attack.
Yeah, because the sorcerer can quicken them, and that becomes more of a scenario. That actually, you use it during that, but a regular wizard probably doesn't
Yeah, too fucking bad.
have that.
So, are you gonna? So, for Rogar, are you gonna pick up Find Greater Steed?
I thought actually I can't because I'm not leveling up paladin anymore.
Oh.
I'm strictly leveling up sorcerer now. But I did think about like other multi-classing just to become even more OP. Like we gain 2 levels. Like what if I just take champion fighter, get like that extra fighting style, crit more? I could just break it.
Oof. Yeah, Champion Fighter was so by itself.
It's
like,
a great
sucked so
dip.
bad. It's a great dip, exactly. But like by itself, it's like they said, this is just a fighter because we had to fill something in. Like we wanted crit range, and that's it. Because there's no other bonuses in that entire class that really make
eventually-
it worth it, except for the extra crit range later on.
No, eventually you get to pick an extra fighting style. So you get to have 2.
Right. Yeah.
Which is nice. So you
but
get to
you
pick
can
the
do
one
that
that
with
gives you like the
Paladin
+2 to attack and the +2 to damage.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get like if you want to go archer or something that works.
Yeah.
For that build.
Mhm.
Because you can even pick like let's say defense or something like that, but normally defense is not as great. I learned as a ranger, I was gonna pick defense, and then I realized like, okay, wait, this one choice only gives me the bonus to AC, but I could get that just from Dex.
Yeah.
Right? So for that, I'd rather just have the other thing. Lets me add my damage, or whatever, to duelist. But
So it's just
yeah,
bad.
it's
I don't really like protection. I mean, great weapon and dueling and, well, archery. They're just so
Yeah.
much better.
archery is dangerous because it's the only thing that gives you that much of a bonus, a numerical bonus to anything.
Yeah, it's just
That-
an extra
for
2 to
free.
attack, which is great
Yeah.
for sharpshooter, which didn't
Yeah.
really work.
There's gonna be your time to shine.
One day I'm
No.
going to get all 6 shots in. Just wait.
I feel almost responsible for that happening. I don't. It was like it happened on my watch. That's basically how I feel.
It happened. That's how I felt when like I set the whole first like that whole pit fight
Mm-hmm.
was supposed to like Peter was not supposed to be the first one to go down. I was
That
like,
is true.
oh, like he was the fucking pit fighter. So I was like, his character was supposed to like not die first. You
Yes.
know, like I'm really happy it was your character that lived the longest because it was just such a coup d'etat for that to be the case. But his character definitely should not have got down.
You
Oh
know,
my
and it's funny because
God.
I know there was some backroom deal with the Yad Karath or whatever, and then you know you have the Gladiator or whatever, but then this like this
Oh
bunch
well, it was
shows
just
up.
because I wanted it to be a we were gonna
Yeah.
fight each other. So like
Okay.
I just pulled him into the other room because I was like I just like I wanted to be a surprise that you guys are all gonna fight and I don't want Peter to know or anyone to know that like that's what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
like you're gonna come into the room, after they're already fighting. And he's like, okay, and that's it,
Yeah.
So like, but it wasn't anything crazy. It was just like, this is what's going to happen. He's going to be in the ring, and then Mockingbird is going to call the other fighter out and put you in. He's like, oh, okay. Like, that's it. Okay. But you were
That's
saying
cool,
about
though.
yeah, yeah.
No, go ahead.
What happened?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I like as far as the fighting styles. Where's the one that I took? I took the oh god, it was one of the Drow ones. For my for John's game,
Mm-hmm.
for John's full game, I took one that basically allows you to use your archery close range. So light, dark, underdark. Let me look it
Oh
up.
yes. Yeah, I think I saw that. I forgot what it's called. Close combat archer, probably. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I
That's
was
the
like,
thing.
yes, no disadvantage from having a bow, +1 to ranged, ignore half and 3/4 cover within within 30 feet, no disadvantage in melee.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, and it's tough because like with the crossbow, the crossbow expert feat, it's just so good if you have a crossbow.
Are
It's like the
you
perfect
ever
thing.
gonna pick up haste, Peter?
As a wizard,
Yeah.
yeah, I would imagine so.
So Benny, at level 11, if Peter hastes me, I will be doing 10 attacks in one round.
Wait, so how do you
Go
break that
away.
down? Yeah.
So
How does that
many
break
of them
down?
will you
So
actually miss?
check it.
5?
By 11, I get my extra attack, so I'll have 3,
Right.
right?
3. Yeah.
So if I'm hasted, that becomes 4 attacks. Nothing broken right there, right?
Right. One
I get a
extra
bonus action, so that's 5.
Okay.
And then action surge. And do all of that again.
And hopefully hit on one of them.
And that's I'll miss all 10 attacks. But my
Oh,
goal is to get
oh.
all 10 of those attacks with advantage and sharpshooter. That's my end goal.
Oh my God. Hopefully. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that was definitely much territory right there. Like, just so all Peter knows, like, I literally had the same number of attacks at one point with that character in Pathfinder rules, and I failed just as often. Like, I would roll like 6 times and hit once maybe, if I was lucky. I didn't have advantage, but actually I did have a feature that worked like advantage on like one of the attacks. So I could actually roll 3 if I remember correctly, I could roll 3 d20s and choose like the highest of them or something like that for that Zen Arch.
That's so sad. That hurts
Yeah.
my heart. Like that should just never be the case.
Yeah, pretty bad. But at least maybe that was Fergie. She was destined to be the greatest of them all. And soon when she leads her clutch to great victory over the tribes of, I don't know, just make up whatever crap. Jeez, man, that was terrible. But was that at least fun? Because for me, I was just super.
No, it was pretty
unprepared,
fun.
to be
I liked it.
No,
I wanted to
enjoyed
do the
it. I
next one.
enjoyed it greatly. Yeah.
honest.
And apparently the viewer we had in the chat room was enjoying it.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if
I
you were
actually-
watching that.
No, I was too busy looking at like stats and fucking up initiative.
But
Um,
Benny, because of you, I got an extra follower on Twitch, so thank you.
Wow. See, that's what I do.
That's
I
what you do. You
represent
love
one-
people.
Like you have equipped me, and you have attuned to me, and now you know that when you equip me, you gain one extra follower. You know the properties of of me as an item. Yeah. So the next one that I had lined up. Now looking at just this fight, because I mean I'm sure there was no. I did slip up. There was supposed to be an air elemental in that fight.
Damn. Oh, ozone layer.
No, not Ozone. Maybe his dad. Who knows?
Was supposed to be an hour fight, the one we just did.
In that exact fight there, yeah. So I knew the numbers were gonna get all fucked up. He was actually supposed to show up afterwards. Like it wasn't supposed to be the first thing that showed up. And so I hinted at a little bit as you know the wisps of wind blowing up the sand and stuff like that, and I was supposed to like lead into it. But then I was like, wait, if I drop a fucking air elemental right now, and the condition was literally like you could have fought the whole thing, of course. So I had to prepare for that. But literally all you had to do is just pick up the thing, break. That's it. That's the end of the fight, right? So my thought process there was like, okay, maybe the fight's getting too hot, and heavy. Somebody might be dying or whatever. So but then I was like, I don't know. The scorpions are kind of starting to put some damage into John, and all right, let me leave the air elemental on before somebody rage quits.
Does anyone actually have good constitution?
Oh no, my constitution is just a 10.
From what I see, like across the board, like we started off at 13 for me, 11 for Peter, 7 for Peter, 13 for Krzysztof, 10 for Benny, not bad, and 11 for Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah. That's decent. I mean, the 13 is okay.
Yeah, you could always bump
Not
that up,
great.
which we did. We got
That's
to
the
bump
other
it
thing,
up.
too. Peter wasn't even there, right? So that's
Oh
another
no,
thing.
my 10 is bumped up because I
Yeah.
started at a 7.
Plus that 1 for your stat, for the human.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all don't actually have the best health.
Right.
And I don't plan on leveling mine. I need to put in dex. Like I'm not even thinking about extra feats. It's just dex for me.
Yeah, and that's the craziest thing about that, because like I was saying, like defense as a fighting style is cool, but when you really think about if you just put 2 points into dex, you not only get 1 AC, you get the attack bonus if you're using a dex-based weapon, you get reflex saves go up, like so many other things benefit, and for that you just choose either archery or something else.
Yeah, there's no point.
You only get that one pick. That's the one thing though. Now I know you guys a little bit better as to how you're gonna fight, especially the wizard. Like I was just wondering, like, okay, is this just gonna be like a fireball fest, and whatever?
No, I went illusionist, so I took. I stuck very true to my magic,
Cool. All right. So that
and I specifically limited myself. I was like, if you're gonna choose, I was like, choose one evocation. Don't go too crazy. And then everything else is illusion and enchantment.
cool. All right. So then that's good, because that was one of the reasons. Like on top of having Peter as an extra level 7 character in the game, like that's one of the reasons I was throwing in like a little bit of an extra challenging, like because that's a CR5, I think, the air elemental, and I figured, okay, by the time they're done with the Thrive Queen, they'll probably wipe the floor with these guys real quick in like 1 or 2 rounds, and I was like, okay, this is going a little further, and they're getting poked pretty bad. Okay. But maybe you were watching up in the distance, feeling a little. Yeah, the next fight up, I actually have the structure for that, so I don't have to prep that one so much. And so we'll see where that goes. And then maybe we'll just make them real short and light. Like we don't have to do these, multi-encounter, going until like midnight or whatever, type session.
I mean, I usually go to bed like at 3 or 4 anyways.
Yeah, I'm on vacation now, so I'm good. Like I'll probably go to sleep now anyway, but yeah, like for me, I could have gone up to whatever time. Like I was fully ready to go into the next encounter, but I think we
Yeah.
did it okay. I think it's
Yeah, I think so too. Like I would have been okay continuing tonight, but most nights, like I've been pushing my my campaign to go later than it really should. Like I mean, we've been going to like 12:30, and that shouldn't really be the case because both of those nights I had to be at work at 6 the next morning, and it did not go well
yeah.
at work. But
That's
like
the thing, because like you're enjoying
were
it,
cer-
and you're just, like you want it to keep going, and it's like the next day though, it's like that there's a haze over everything that you're doing.
Yeah, well, there were also like certain things so that I was like, I want you to get up to like there were like certain points that I wanted you to hit, like and you didn't even on both nights. You didn't even do as much as I was expecting you to do.
That
It
Um,
never works that way.
I
yeah,
noticed that as a DM, that like in this edition specifically, there is it's not. I guess the fight do last longer than you expect, but it's like sometimes you'll prep and like prep and prep, and I did that with in the other group. It's like that. Like I'm doing Lost Mine of Fandelver, which is already written, so the prep work isn't too bad, but you do want to get make sure that you have all the character insights and everything, so that if they go off on a tangent, kind of you're ready for it. But it's just like I did all this prep one day on one of the sessions where I'm like, oh my god, we have to get through this. They're supposed to be in chapter 4 or whatever, like let's say page 30 of the book by this point, and it's like, forget it. They spent so much time just hanging around in town talking shit and like whatever that it's like, oh, okay, we barely got to the fight, and I had to cut that short because we were ending soon. Like, all right, so
oh
I
yeah, like if Peter didn't succeed that intimidation check,
think
like the fight would have ended up going on a lot longer. And there was another encounter that was like gonna happen like right after that.
yeah.
And I just was like, okay, I was like, there's no way. Like they're not gonna get through the but like on the last session I was like, you guys are getting into a battle if it fucking kills me. Like an actual battle. Like this is happening. I don't give a shit. Like you're fighting something. So
It's like I don't
I was
care.
like, I spent all day building this. You are fighting it. Like, you're fucking fighting it, and you're, I don't care. So like that was just that. But then I was like, okay, so people have to go to bed now, and it's late. We can't go any further.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate the most about not that I hate battle, it's just I hate that the battle sometimes the energy level by the time you're done with the battle, it's just like okay, we have to recover from this. Like it's not, something where you could just like, okay, now on to the next thing and then whatever. Like the battles don't just, happen one thing to the next to the next to the next. But
Well, yeah, because you're talking through it rather than like it would be a lot faster if we were like seeing it on like a computer screen or something. But like,
I think it might speed up to a certain degree in terms of like knowing tactically where you're standing and stuff like that, but
That's
I
you
think it
could
still would
use
take a
roll
long time.
20 or fantasy grounds for that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, roll 20 is pretty good for that. Like for me, we didn't even get to that point, but I had like maps laid out with initials, so I could just post up a quick picture and say, okay, this is tactically where you guys are laid out, right? And then
If you have
with
that,
little
send
things.
it to me because I will put that on screen.
Okay, yeah. No, well, yeah. I'll
Currently,
put
it's
it
just
up
our
on.
stats.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Because then I do have like the map. That's what I end up doing for the other group too, except it's a little bit more media. Like we have the TV, and I hook up my tablet to the TV, and so any
Damn,
pictures
that's
of
fucking
people.
fancy.
Yeah, it's fancy.
mm-hmm.
And what's cool is like on Windows 10, on the picture app, when you open up a picture, it lets you doodle on it, which is really cool. So that's actually what I do now. So like when it's a quick map of the town or whatever, I'll say, okay, you guys are here, 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 and here. And I'll just put like little different colored dots on the screen. Um, and so that helps. And
I
this
do
is
miss
a little
playing in
different 'cause-
person.
Yeah, that's it
The
really.
playing in person would make things a lot easier because like the constantly having to switch through multiple apps to kind of interact with you guys is and like I don't want to say annoying, but it's tedious because like I'll have a map up in one app, but then I have to go into another app to like actually manipulate the map so that I can actually put where you guys are on the map. Then I have to take that map and bring it over to Discord and post it so you
So I
guys
need a
know where you are.
computer.
What happened?
That's why you need a computer.
Why? You can draw directly in Discord?
No, but you can have more space to work on. I'm in the same boat because I gotta keep all these apps open, and I gotta do the recording, and then I do live updates in the chat along with the OBSs, which I use to record. Like I gotta change things up and around. So computers just make it so much easier.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely does. Because what I use is the tablet. Here, it was easier to run this game because I had the computer in front of me. There's and you can have multiple screens and you can actually drag stuff over and make life easier. On the tablet, it's tougher because I do extend to the television, so that becomes my display screen. And then what I've got in front of me is mostly like the stats and everything that are, sort of what would be behind the DM screen. But the tablet is still tough because I have to connect the mouse to it because you can't drag over with your finger because it's a touch screen, but you can't drag it over into the next screen. So I then have to connect the mouse because it's a Windows tablet. So it has a USB and I can actually use it. But then I have to connect the keyboard sometimes because typing on the screen is like on the fly. Sometimes it's not perfect. So that becomes a pain. But yeah, I can
Bottom
imagine
line, get a
it's
computer,
hot,
get 2 screens.
You could even get well, I don't know if a Chromebook is perfect, but even like a cheap Chromebook that you can, if you get a monitor, just like a cheap monitor, and you could extend the monitor, and you have 2 screens there on the cheap, right? And if you have like Google Docs or something like that, just makes life easier to get. I end up using something for Windows called, for Microsoft called OneNote. OneNote is actually really good for DM. Because you put all your notes. I put all my maps in the single OneNote, and they all have their own tabs, and it's sorted by region. If players travel to this region, these are the maps for that. These are the dungeons for this encounter, so I'll go encounter by encounter.
It's an app, and it's called OneNote?
Yeah, but it's mostly for Windows. I don't know if Mac or whatever, or even Google Chrome has the same map. But it's all really.
Well, I'm looking it up now. 1 second.
It's more for the organization of it because sometimes you have to have monster stats on command that I don't want to have to look up in the book or look up even on the browser. I want to just have the stats that I know I need right there. So I'll just copy and paste the stat block into it, and it'll be like something. If you look up like D&D OneNote, like there are some DMs that mention like they'll show what their screen is like. They'll even share the OneNote. But some guys don't do it because it's they put up copyrighted materials.
Mm-hmm.
With
But
that,
it's
guys,
for no
I'm
reason.
actually gonna head out for the night and end this recording.
All right.
So-
this was
Oh,
actually
we're still
I thought
recording?
this was-
Yeah, I had to fluff out the episode, otherwise it would have been like 6 minutes.
Oh.
just cut off the last hour of this. Like we were just rambling at one point.
No, some people might want to listen to that. But anyways, we'll talk about next session probably some other day.
Sure.
Yeah,
All right.
when Peter has his
Fucking
phone
phone.
back, probably after Monday.
All right. Good night, guys.
Cool.
All right,
You were
good
dead.
night.
All right.
Bye-bye.